Hello and welcome to Food Did What Now? I'm your host, Emily Brighty, and in this podcast, I will answer all of those pesky food origin questions that you have. You know, the ones you ponder but are never invested enough to actually find the answers for. Well, I got invested. Based on your suggestions, Season 1 is all about vegetables. Or at least things that are used as vegetables, because I found out that beans are technically a fruit. Yeah. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Food did what now? Food did what now? Food did what now? Food did what now? Baked beans edition. Hello and welcome to another episode of Food Did What Now? Today we have with us Eloise Ward. Say hello.
Hello there.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
And are you ready to learn about baked beans?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, tell me everything.
Excellent. But before we get into baked beans, please tell us a fact about you related to food.
So, I think I'm a massive savoury over sweet girl now. I used to not be, but I find myself when I go into shops now, I'm straight for like the Doritos off like Pringles or something like that. Whereas before, I'd be like chocolate all the way. So now I feel I've got this balance going on where I just eat savoury things so much. Yeah, just to crave anything sweet. But yeah, it's pretty, I don't know if that's really interesting or not.
No, that's
but yeah,
cool. Oh, lovely.
Savoury over sweet now. It's changed my life.
Good to know. Okay, so I asked my audience when they think baked beans originated.
Okay.
And would you like to guess before you hear their answers or after you hear their answers?
Oh no. Okay. You know, maybe before. I think I'd be really easily influenced.
Okay, so when do you think they originated?
Oh man, I don't think it's going to be really recent because I feel like that's sort of. But then I don't know anything about beans or the sauce that it comes in, so my guess would be completely out in the dark. I think maybe I'm going to go 236 BC.
BC.
Oh no! Oh, really?
We have guesses from our audience. So we have the 1600s.
Oh, okay, it's far different than mine.
Yeah. When someone put them in the oven instead of the cake mix.
Wait, instead of the cake?
So they put the beans in the oven instead of the cake mix.
I see. I often get confused between the two.
Nice. I mean, similar texture. No.
Yeah.
No. We had a few guesses for 1600s, 1850s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Shortly before burritos were invented.
Oh, bean burrito. Okay, makes sense. I see the logic.
And then right after regular beans. Those are our guesses.
The last one's got a point.
Yeah, I mean,
the last one is probably true.
They can't come before, but like, yeah.
This is the chicken and egg question right here.
Exactly. So would you like to know the answer?
Yes.
Well, we can't actually pinpoint when.
Oh, okay. No. I'm gonna say I'm right.
I mean, sure. It's not possible to pinpoint the exact origin date because it originates with the indigenous people of America.
Oh, okay.
Specifically, the tribes of the Northeast America. They would bake them with maple syrup.
Oh.
And sometimes meat such as venison and sometimes even bear fat.
They were eating well.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
And they were cooked in an earthenware pot. And there are many versions of baked beans throughout history.
Ooh.
We have, obviously, that from the Native Americans.
Yes.
And we have the cassoulet in France, which is like a bean stew.
Oh my goodness.
Why are there so many different names? Fagioli al fiasco from Italy.
That sounded amazing. I'm sure you got that spot on.
Oh, thank you. And even England, white beans with bacon was a staple in the medieval.
White beans and bacon.
White beans and bacon.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like I'm not a massive fan of beans in general.
No,
but I feel like beans and bacon would go well together.
Yeah, same here. I'm not a massive fan of beans, but I do feel like those two would probably be. You can see, well, it's breakfast. Like full English, you do sometimes get beans and bacon together. We've not come far.
When you think of baked beans today, what do you think of?
I think of like Well, my stepmom, she loves baked beans. She loves them. Heinz in particular.
Yeah.
Well, I always just think of like, this is gonna sound gross, but like just like sloppy. And you know what I mean? Like it's just the sound is like all squelchy and sloppy. But like I'd always think of like the little things in the red sauce type thing.
Yeah.
That's my mind goes straight to that type of baked bean, really, and just the can.
That's cool. The origin of baked beans is contested.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, contested,
So,
yes.
some people think that the cassoulet is actually the origins, and that was in the medieval period from France. But the beans used in baked beans are the same beans that were native to America.
Oh, okay.
So, in my opinion, not that it's worth much, the indigenous people of America, like, actually started baked beans.
Well, it sounds that way. If the beans travelled across, like, globally, then it's going to have to have originated in the place we're sourcing it from.
Exactly. The type of beans used are called navy beans, which is a type of haricot bean.
Oh, I think I've heard those terms before. That's so interesting. Oh my gosh.
Wonderful. And they were not introduced to Europe until the 16th century, apparently.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I was a little far off for 236 BC.
Just a tad.
Just a tad. I overshot. Oh, no, undershot, it seems. By far away.
So the immigrants who came over to America, the Puritan Christian pilgrims, they started learning the recipes from the indigenous people, and they integrated them into their lives. And it was a really useful meal for them because they weren't supposed to cook or anything on the Sabbath. So what they would do is the night before, they'd make the beans and have them for dinner.
Right.
And then keep them warm in an oven overnight and then have them after church.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
my
then
goodness.
They didn't have to cook and they had food.
That's so, and it's quite like a substantial, like, sort of, well, it's not substantial, what's the word? It's like, it's got a lot of sustenance to it because it's quite a, I don't know, hearty sort of snack or meal. Yeah. So that's really good, like, that they've taken that on. And mad that they used it for that they cooked it all through the night or, like, warmed it. That's so crazy. That's good thinking. That's pretty good thinking. They had it down.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Pretty cool. Although many modern types of baked beans are cooked more like a stew rather than baked. So even though it's still called baked beans, it's not necessarily actually baked.
No, but that was a process they went through, like baking them overnight. That's like a full process. Nowadays, you just go to a supermarket and you microwave it for a few minutes, and that's it. It doesn't feel special.
I know.
Like, there's no maple syrup or venison. There's no like cooking it overnight and ready for this to eat. Like we're just quick and efficient. That's what we want, isn't it?
Yeah. So, getting on to what we know as beans today.
Ooh.
They were first canned around 1860.
Oh my! They were canned only 1860.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, that's crazy. To be fair, that's quite a long time. That's like a long time ago, really. That we've had baked beans in a can for that long. That's great. That's pretty cool.
But it was the Heinz company that first mass-produced tin baked beans in 1895.
Oh wow!
So yeah, it took a while to be mass-produced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I imagine it's quite like a. I know nowadays, like, we have machines that can literally make anything. But back then, that'd have been quite a lot to do because it's quite like I said before, quite a big, like, sort of mixture. So it's going to be, I can imagine that taking quite a while to be able to mass produce it like that time.
Yeah. So baked beans arrived in the UK in 1886.
Okay.
And they ended up in the shelves of Fortnum & Mason.
Oh.
And they were originally branded as a luxury item.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I know. Crazy,
baked
right?
beans is a luxury item. Oh, my gosh.
I know.
You do not. Nowadays, I don't think I associate baked beans as being a luxury item.
No.
I feel so bad.
Well, I mean, it's not a luxury item anymore.
No, you can. It's so, like, cheap and affordable.
Exactly.
A luxury item. Well, never.
Yeah. And from the early 20th century, the beans expanded onto the shelves of less expensive and more everyday stores.
Right.
So, yeah, in the 1900s, they became more affordable, and there ended up being, in the mid-90s, a price war for baked beans. And it saw tins priced at 3p. And in some cases, grocers were giving customers 5p to buy the can of baked beans.
Wait, this is in the 90s?
Yeah, mid-90s, apparently.
3p for
3p for a can of baked
beans.
Yeah.
How?
Going from a luxury item in Fortnum and Mason to 3p a can
In like 100 years.
in less than 100
less
years.
Than 100. Oh yeah, less than 100 years.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
in like 70 years. Yeah.
Gosh, from a luxury item to 3p. It makes you think like what nowadays as well will change in 100 years. Like how much are we going to have the same thing with other types of canned goods? You know, that's so amazing though to think that how little we've come in terms of actually making and eating the product to like the price of it and like the accessibility of it as well. Oh my goodness. You know how you said, was it like 1896, did you say, or something, around then that it was putting in cans and stuff like that on a mass level?
1895.
1895. Because I was going to say, that's because when you look back at like World War sort of storage and things like that, what people kept in their bunkers and stuff,
That's true.
there's a lot of canned goods. I imagine, although obviously in 1895 they didn't realise that there was going to be a World War. However, I imagine there was, as we have now, people who prep for things like that, because obviously there'd been tons of wars and things like that in the past. So you can imagine those would be quite a thing that people would want to store for themselves. So just in time, Heinz, well done.
Yeah. Only 3 people are said to know the exact blend of spices that go into Heinz.
What is some KFC stuff going on here?
I know. Like, only... what happens if they're all in a car and there's a car crash? Like...
Don't jinx it, man. We need to know the spices. Only 3 people?
Only 3 people are said to know.
So is it like passed on 3 generations?
I would imagine so.
Can you imagine having that honour to be one of the 3 people in the world to know what spices are put in beans?
Yeah.
Man, I need to get in with these people.
Yeah.
There needs to be a 4th, and it will be you.
Imagine that conversation though. You go into the office like, oh, am I in trouble? Am I getting like a raise or something? It's just like, okay, here's an envelope. Destroy it once you've read it.
Oh.
I'm gonna leave the room.
Oh my goodness.
And then you open it and you're like, it's like you open the envelope and it's like light starts shining out of it. It's like, it's just like, oh my goodness, I do not feel worthy to know these spices.
What if you had like a person who wanted to like exploit this and they got the thing, they're in the office, they've just been given the envelope and they're like ringing up rival bean companies and being like, yo, before I destroy this letter,
I have the
spices. Can you imagine? I'm pretty sure there was a similar thing with like Coke and Pepsi. One of them was writing on each other. What if that happens with beans? What if one of the 3 like I don't know, spills it and it goes wild? I can't think about it. It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much. So Heinz started making them. They shipped cans to the UK until they created a factory in 1928.
Oh wow, so they were shipping them for that long?
Yeah.
Oh wow. Oh my gosh.
Nearly 50 years.
Is that from America?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's quite a journey as well to ship beans. I imagine like they'd all be by ferry and like ship and stuff. So
I would imagine so.
That's crazy. But I imagine it would be easier anyway to ship them by boat rather than plane. I think just for the pure weight of how much you'd have to ship at once. Because I imagine you'd have to ship quite a lot of beans to stock the UK.
Probably do it by boat, yeah.
There's a lot of bean eaters in UK, I imagine.
When they were shipping them over, the beans were actually kind of sweet because they did it with the maple syrup and stuff.
Yeah.
But that was too sweet for our British palate.
Oh gosh.
Of course. Maple syrup. Oh,
disgusting.
So they eventually changed it to be tomato based.
Oh wow, that's
so
quite a difference.
Yeah, so it wasn't originally tomato based. It was
oh my goodness,
maple syrup based, I guess. And also the pork was removed during the wartime.
Oh.
Due to rationing.
I was gonna say that's probably. I'd imagine rationing would have something to do with that.
So baked beans became vegetarian and stayed vegetarian.
Oh, wow.
In 1967, we're just down to random facts now.
Lovely.
In 1967, the slogan, beans means Heinz, was made.
Whoa, that is an arrogant slogan. That is pretty cocky, Heinz.
I mean, yep. But it was voted best advertising slogan of all time by an expert panel in 2012.
In 2012?
2012.
Wait, when was the slogan? Did it say?
1967.
What?
Yeah.
It was Heinz means beans, or beans means Heinz?
Beans means Heinz.
Beans. That's cool.
With
That's
a Z after each letter.
Oh!
After each word. Not after each letter.
Like- like a boy band style Z at the end. Like they're all trying to be all funky and cool.
Like, oh, edgy.
Excuse me, Heinz. It's like, move out the way of the bean companies. Oh my gosh. That's mad that it got voted after like, that's so long to have like maintained that level of standard.
Yeah.
That phrase has lasted.
Mm-hmm. And you know I said that only 3 people know the secret spices?
Yes.
They are actually delivered to the factory in like unlabeled bags.
What?
Yeah, so like the factory workers don't know.
That's
It's
so
like
secretive.
top secret. It's crazy.
That's actually crazy. You could really mess with that though.
Oh,
You'd
yeah.
play some games. Like
Oh,
you'd
yeah.
have to.
Yeah.
Just like powder some eggs and throw that in there. That might be one. That's not spice, I guess. But you could just powder so many things, and that sounds so wrong. I'm so sorry. Oh my gosh. But I'd be so cool to be one of those people and just deliver in the bags. Oh, that's so secretive. For beans? That seems so crazy.
I know,
It
right?
seems so over the top. I think everyone's lives would be okay if they knew the secret, but maybe not. Maybe the world would end if more people knew.
Maybe. Okay, so more random fun facts.
Yes, please.
There are approximately 645 beans in a standard can of Heinz beans.
Wow. That's a lot of beans. How many per portion would you say?
Oh, how many portions do you find in a can?
I don't know. I don't think I've ever had a can of beans, so I really couldn't say. I'd say like a can of beans. Oh, you're looking at the shelf. You get Heinz beans, obviously, because beans means Heinz.
Yeah,
Obviously. I think maybe like if you want a full like breakfast, you want it to fill you up. Maybe like half a can is a portion.
Okay.
But then if you just want it like an aside with a full English, maybe like a quarter of a can.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, so if we're saying it's half a can per serving.
Yes.
It is 232.5 beans.
Wow. That's quite a lot of beans.
That is.
That's a lot of beans.
Maybe a quarter of a can would be better.
Yeah.
But I can't work that out off the top of
All
my
these
head.
beans lovers listening and be like, what?
What?
Half a can?
Oh, that's nothing.
I eat 5 cans a day.
5 cans a day. Oh. Talking about eating that loads of beans.
Yes.
The world record for eating 6 pounds of baked beans is 1 minute 48 seconds by Don Learman of New York.
6 pounds of beans in less than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
You're telling me somebody's sat down with 6 pounds of beans and eaten them all in under 2 minutes? What the hell?
Yes.
Oh my... Do you think he practiced? Do you think he worked his way up? Do you think he just started with one singular bean and was like, I could do it? Wait, you know when you buy a flour from the store? The pound bags are the big bags, right? Like the...
Okay, let me check.
Because I need some weight, but I need to think about this in terms of how it compares to other things that I've held. That's so weird. I never held 6 pounds of beans.
Okay, 1 pound is 453 grams.
Oh, okay.
So it's just under like one of those small like 500 gram packs of flour.
Oh
so
my gosh.
6 pounds would be it's
oh my gosh.
2.7 kilograms.
Oh, that's so much.
Yeah, so that's
so
like
many beans.
nearly 3 bags of flour worth of beans.
That's crazy.
I couldn't
do that.
Ugh. No, please,
6
no.
pounds that's crazy. I went home the other week and my friends just had a little baby boy and he's gorgeous and he weighed like 6 pounds. So this guy ate this baby's weight in beans.
Yep.
Imagine having to watch that. That must not be pretty. To watch someone guzzle down. Like guzzle's such a horrible word. But you have to eat quick. So you can imagine just pick up some plates, like slipping it all down. It'll get everywhere.
Ugh. Yeah, like he ate it in 1 minute 48 seconds. Do you chew or do you just swallow it all whole?
You'd have to swallow it whole.
Oh.
You'd have to, because you've not got no time to chew
You're
it.
just downing cans of baked beans.
Oh, you think like they're just cold? Like you think he's just canning it, like literally canning it back?
That just makes it even worse. Surely.
I just don't like the idea of that. I just don't like the idea. whoever you are, wherever you may
Don
be.
Lemon of New York.
What is wrong with you? There are so many nicer things to do with your day. I fed some ducks today. I'm sure I had a better time doing that than eating 6 pounds of beans.
Yeah.
But who's to say?
And the aftermath of that.
How gassy is that guy going to be?
Oh.
I would not want to be in a room with him after that.
No.
No, thank you.
Okay, so, do you want to know... Do you want to guess how often a can of baked beans is sold in the UK?
Okay, I'll say... Oh, it's going to be ridiculous, isn't it? But I'm going to say, I'll say about a minute and 50 seconds.
Okay. Every 17 seconds.
Every 17 seconds?
For some reason, this country likes baked beans. I do not understand it.
Oh my gosh. Every 17 seconds, a can of baked beans is bought?
Yeah.
I wonder how many of those are Heinz. 17 seconds? That's crazy. Imagine if it's the same person. Just has to fulfill that quota. Has to keep that average. Yeah. Or else everything fails.
Like, if no one comes into the shop to buy it, they just pay for it themselves.
Yeah.
Like, oh no one's coming to the shop for 3 days.
It's been 15 seconds.
I've run out of money. My entire paycheck goes on making sure every 17 seconds a can of beans is full.
It's a fast-paced job. You'd have to think on your feet.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, respect to...
You couldn't have toilet breaks.
Have you ever heard of have you heard of what they called? Those little things that you can pee in, you go camping and use them.
Oh,
you have to have a bottle with you constantly. I won't go into more detail.
Yeah, either that or you're tag teaming it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What a job. It exists. That poor guy. Oh, bless
I
him.
hope he gets paid well.
That's crazy. 17 seconds.
In Manchester, around 70% of people there regularly heat up a tin of beans for lunch or dinner.
Oh.
According to a poll of 2,000 Brits.
It's just what they think of Manchester. This doesn't actually happen. It's just something that's going. I do think that's what they do in the north. Yeah.
That's more right.
Manchester's my closest city, I'm pretty sure, as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. My stepmom does... Sorry, I'm throwing you in the deep end, Louise. She does like a baked bean, so maybe she contributes to that all the time.
She's part of it now.
She's part of it. You're our statistic.
Yep. 80% of Brummies eat beans at least once a week.
Oh, wow. 80%.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Sheffield was third with 65%, followed by their neighbour, Leeds.
Oh.
Apparently the North like baked beans.
They must do. Oh, gosh.
Ever since they become affordable. No Fortnum and Mason up here.
No. Aldi all the way.
Yes.
So many baked bean facts.
I know.
Actually blowing my mind.
Overall, 90% of us, apparently, enjoy the traditional beans on toast pairing.
Ooh.
But it has to be beans on top of toast and not on the side.
That's so specific. Surely everyone's just go planting the top.
Yeah. But why would you put beans on the side of toast if it's going to be beans on toast? Yeah, I don't.
Anyway,
I mean,
crazy.
We're not really ones to talk, are we?
No, neither is.
Why are we on this episode?
I was just gonna be like, so do you have beans on toast? You don't have beans. So that's my question. But I can see that. A majority of people who I know who eat beans, I've always seen them eating on toast. That sounds like I watch people eat all the time. Like beans.
Binoculars.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Excuse me, there's some beans over there. Some toast.
I see you through that window. Let's see how you're doing it. When beans were sold in Fortnum and Mason, they cost the equivalent in today's money £2.15.
Oh wow. That's
so it's still quite a luxury item.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't. I mean, sometimes you buy maybe some fancy canned meals.
Yeah.
Fancy canned meals doesn't feel like it should go in a sentence together.
Fancy canned meals.
But you can get cans for $3.50 and stuff.
Yeah. No, yeah, you can.
But
and even the Nisa or campers and stuff, you can buy what was it, curry sauce and different things like that in cans, and even canned vegetables and stuff. Some of the fancier stuff is £2 odd. Yeah. So you can see that. However, compared to the 3p cans that were sold in the 90s, that's still pretty expensive.
Yeah, pretty spenny.
Yeah. I wonder how many people would buy beans if it still cost £2.50. I wonder if the 17 seconds would change. I imagine it would change.
Yeah, I would imagine. More like 77 hours.
Yeah, because I do 77 hours.
I'm was trying to say 17 hours, but it just didn't come out like that.
So good, man. 77 hours. Stick with it. Because I spend a lot of time debating whether to buy something if it's over like £1. I'm like, do I really need this? Majority of times I don't, but I still get it anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
But like if like a packet of sweets, for example, if that's over £1, I do spend time considering like, is that 69p, extra 69p worth it? Is it? And usually it is, but I always spend a while debating it.
So Heinz, if you're listening,
tell us your secrets.
Ooh, can we be
you know
the 3 people?
Oh, yes.
Can you make it 4, or do we need to bump someone up?
Yeah.
We won't do that. We
promise. Well, who's that guy called who does In the Factory? He's on like, what's it called? Oh, my mum watches it all the time.
Oh,
the
Greg Wallace.
Hey Heinz, if you want an Into the Factory episode and you want it to be food does what now? We've got a very own Emily right here. She'll happily. We'll both happily.
Yes, please.
Come and do an episode of In the Factory. So Greg and Heinz, if you're listening, we want your job.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you.
Enough
for listening. I think we'll finish with this. In the 1940s, the Ministry of Food classified Heinz bees.
Heinz bees.
Let me try that again. In the 1940s, the Ministry of Food classified Heinz bees.
You can't say it out. It's in your head, man.
In the 1940s, the Ministry of Food classified Heinz beans.
Yes.
Did it? As an essential food during wartime rationing.
Wow.
Yeah.
My gosh, essential food.
Mm.
That's quite good that they've made it, because I imagine it was prioritized and to give to people, like people were. That's crazy. I said before as well about it being ready for war. Wow, this is all links together, full circle, guys. That's pretty cool. There's essential food. What a good fact to end on.
Yeah, so you've just learned about Heinz beans.
My mind is blown.
Or just beans. How do you feel?
beans, Heinz. So I feel great. I feel so knowledgeable now. I feel like I should share this knowledge with the world.
Yes.
This is crazy. It's so secretive. A lot more undercover and secretive than I thought it would be. And like the history of it is so rich. I imagine, I don't know, it just being like, oh, here's a bee and here's some sauce, plonk them together. There you go.
Bing, bada boom.
Exactly. But it's like so widespread, like globally. It's like, that's insane. And so secretive still. And the price being like fluctuating that much is crazy. I feel like I've just absorbed so much information. And I'm a little overwhelmed. But I'm very happy. That's very exciting.
So is there anything that made you go, food did what now?
Well, yeah, I'd say like the whole maple syrup thing originally was like, what?
Yeah.
You put maple syrup and venison in like beans? That's crazy. That's really crazy. That definitely made me go like, food is what now? I also think, I don't know, just all of it. The secretive, there'd be only 3 people, like, and then delivering in bags that didn't have labels on. That's like crazy. That's some like Illuminati FBI stuff going on like that. That's so mysterious.
Yeah.
I need to be in with these people. I need to know what's going on. Just so crazy. Oh man, all of it's so fascinating. That definitely think my top 2 like food is what? The secret, like the secretiveness of it all. Like there being only 3 people in the world who know. And then, the whole maple syrup and venison thing is pretty crazy too. Cool. Thank you for showing me with all this knowledge.
Of course, thank you so much for being on the show.
I've enjoyed literally every single second of this.
I'm so glad. This has been Food Did What Now? Baked Beans Edition! If you have enjoyed learning all about the baked beans, then why not give this episode a like and give us a foodie follow on the socials. We've got Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. And while you're at it, give it a share. You know, like you should with those giant bags of crisps, but you eat one and then it's just kind of, you know, a downward spiral from there. So why not make up for it by sharing this podcast with all the baked bean lovers and haters in your life, and join us next week when we learn about cucumbers. Ooh.